Hey now, welcome to Derby Rocks. It's another week. Stram and Cashman are here with you, and we are excited. What is going on, Cashman? How are you?
I'm great. It's another busy week of everything, including lots of derby.
Yeah. It's a good week for roller derby coming up.
Definitely. The last couple of weeks have been pretty good.
Sure. Yeah, we've had a lot of good derby going on. You took part in some derby over the weekend. We're going to talk about that. We've got the North American qualifiers for the Men's Roller Derby Association taking place in Everett, Massachusetts this weekend, the first through the third. So we are actually going to be joined by Yeedy from Casco Bay, the Arizona Skate Club, and Midway Magic, a bunch of teams who were just at like USAR's Nationals. Casco Bay is hosting the North American qualifiers. Yeedy has won JRDA champs previously with Santa Cruz. They are a well-versed skater, so I'm excited to have her on ahead of the North American qualifiers this weekend. It's going to be a great show, so make sure you stick around for that. I will say it's Wednesday. Um, you'll probably see the video and hear this on Friday. But hey, we're doing the thing. You know, it's great. We were able to sneak one in last week. We were live in studio for 20 minutes or so,
Yeah.
and then we got out of there. But it's going to be a great show. So thank you for being patient and sticking around. And thank you for just being patient in general. I know if you don't know, I work security at an outdoor concert venue here in Western New York, and that my phone alarm is going off. It's very funny. And obviously, being an outdoor concert venue in Western New York, the only time I work there is in the summer. So it's definitely my busy time of the year. Plus, more bands and more acts are touring. So I also work my, smaller venue here in Rochester. So it's just a busy time of the year for me. And that's why we haven't been live so many times in the past, couple of months. So thank you for being patient. Thank you, Cash. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And the stars aligned last week for us, and then we just couldn't find someone to come live with us. But that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's all right. It's gonna be a great show either way. No worries. So,
Yeah.
I do appreciate it. This week is no different. We're gonna get to our weeks here in a second, but I have Kesha tomorrow and then Nelly on Friday. So it's gonna be quite the juxtaposition, but it'll be a lot of fun this weekend here at Darien Lake. So I'm excited.
All right. Feeling like P. Diddy? Uh,
No, definitely not. No.
that's kind of lost its
Yeah, I forget exactly what she says, but she does something like wake up in the morning and say FP Diddy, or she's definitely switched it up as far as the live shows go. So
and
I
she's with
thought
the
it was
Scissor
pretty
Sisters too, man.
sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they do a version of Pink Floyd's "Uncomfortably Numb" or "Comfortably Numb."
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a pretty wild version. Man, I remember the Scissor Sisters were really hot a few years ago. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah. No, it's gonna be an interesting weekend. Or well, not even the weekend. It's going to be an interesting end of the work week for me because
yeah,
it's double duty, just a lot going on. But yeah, no, I'm excited. It's going to be a great weekend. I know you just got done having doing some derby,
yeah.
uh, and what we just got done with roller derby tournament, wrapping up Flower City roller derby's season, and I know a lot of other teams that are kind of taking some time. I know a lot of teams that are not. We're only taking a couple of weeks. We're going to get back after it in August here. So we've got that going on. But yeah, we've got North American qualifiers. Two teams are going to advance to the playoffs, which is in um, Oregon,
Yes.
Portland.
Yep.
Okay,
You
cool.
are.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised I remembered that. I
yeah.
feel pretty good.
It's the same rows. I'm guessing it's the same place that they play too, or maybe not. Maybe it's
Yeah, if
around
I'm not
there.
mistaken, you can still use coupon code ROCZ, ROCZ, to get discount tickets to the MRDA Champs this year. So if you are headed out that way and going to MRDA Champs, make sure you use coupon code ROCZ at
Yeah.
checkout, and you can go look up like Concussion Roller Derby because they're the hosts. So go search them out and find the posts or the socials for that.
Yeah.
and purchase some discount tickets for that. It's going to be a great event. But yeah, we've got NAQs this weekend in Everett, Mass, being hosted by Casco. It's the first time that Casco has hosted the event as well as been involved. So I know they have a tough start with they start right against the Hooligans, if I'm not mistaken. So
Oh, yeah. If it's Pittsburgh's got Austin, I know that.
yeah, right off the bat, you got a tough couple of tough games.
Yeah,
It's going to be exciting though, some great derbies. So make sure you check that out. We're going to talk to Yeedy all about it in the second segment. So make sure you stick around for that.
yeah.
Because again, they just got back from USARS. They've been playing since they were like 10 or something like that. Junior roller derby, all types of stuff. So we've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to shut up for a second and let you get to your week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, last week we kind of hinted at a lot of spicy stuff on Derby, on
Oh
Derby.
man, has it gotten even better? And
Yeah,
by better, I mean like 100% worse. Like it's such a crappy situation. Um, but it's not bad to see like people get called out. It's great to see people get called out. I feel badly for the people who are the victims in this scenario, I will
yeah,
say. Certainly, and being a victim is never good. So when I say that it's great, I don't mean anything that's negative of this scenario. But it's good that people are standing up. It's good that people are speaking out. It's good that people who, even today, we've seen some people who are like, "Hey, here's what I'm trying to do. Here's how I want to like help get this situation handled," and so on. So it looks like there's a plan, and more people are stepping up, and the teams that this individual is involved with, are stepping up. So kudos to Cleveland, Cleveland Guardians Roller Derby and Burning River, for taking steps to at least address the situation. Um, so at least it's been handled in the short term. We'll see how it all shakes out. But
yeah.
yeah, if you're following along, it is a lot. You know, there's a lot going on.
That's
So,
not the only thing. I think the USARS issue that,
oh man, we also had like a controversial ending to the USARS championship, right? It like came down to 1 point, and there
yeah,
was like a whistle on a different track, and somebody got sent to the box but didn't. And I still have no idea, like, and I'm trying to understand who's mad about what and why not. There's some good derby hell
yeah.
smut out there right now, basically,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Um,
There was something about like the game ended, but then they added another jam onto the end of it, and
yeah, and it was like people are like, well, that was like a non-skating official. They really don't have the authority to do that. And it sounds like there was some like booing and telling the audience to shut up,
yeah,
or or yeah, it's just a wild scenario altogether. So
yeah.
fascinating to see. Yeah.
If you like the spice, go check it out. It's been pretty
Yeah,
spicy.
there's a fair amount of drama out there. But ultimately, because we are sometimes silly about this stuff, I will say it is making me rethink a lot of interactions that I've had with people. And not so much like that I've ever been overly handsy or made somebody uncomfortable. And if I have, please, um, you know, let me know, forgive me, whatever the case is. But I've certainly been in it before. And, a lot of this started from somebody just kind of being a jerk, really, you know? It started, with this person did this, then we had to stop a tournament for 40 minutes. Then we had to, do X, Y, and Z, all basically because this individual refused to apologize. So what started out as this person is a jerk is now, leading to these other things coming out, which is great. But I don't even want to be the jerk in this scenario.
Yeah,
You're not going to hear, um, sexual assault allegations coming out of my corner or anything like that. But I don't want people to have this bad taste of me in their mouth, similarly to like how more and more people are like, yeah, that dude's a schmuck or whatever, you
Yeah,
know.
it's kind of
So
like all
like
of a
more
sudden
and more people are like, yeah, F that guy, right? So like I
they go,
just
oh,
never want,
they go, oh, you've got something to say. Listen to this, and
yeah,
then
right. Like,
yeah,
yeah, you got a story right. So now everybody's piling on, and it's I'm not saying that it's not deserved. I'm just rethinking so many times that I know I was single, and it's making me like a feel guilty and just like want to try and just be better every day. And some days I don't do so hot at that, and there's going to be moments where I'm better than others. But like, just try, you know. If you make an attempt and you're like a reasonable person, I think with like apologies and learning from your mistakes, you can be a jerk in instances and get past it and move on, and I'm an imperfect person, and I'm not saying I'll never be a jerk or I'll never make a mistake, but I feel like when I have been a jerk, I've learned from it. So
yeah,
that's the important part. The one of the whole issues started with um the person, the official at the time, using the person's skin tone instead of their jersey color, and then wouldn't apologize and doubled down on it and like wouldn't leave. And there was a big slowdown in the whole bit. And like, quite honestly, the same thing happened to me that weekend. Again, I'm imperfect, but you just apologize, you make the most out of it, and you move on. And as soon as I talked to that skater, um, I was, reassured like, hey, we're good. This is literally all I want, so thank you, you're great, we're good, no problem, sort of thing. And that's as easy as it can be, and I'm sorry that it didn't happen this time. So
yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I could go on and on and on about this. I know we've only got so much time because I do want to get to Yeety here.
yeah, yeah.
Do you have any like highlights of your week?
So yeah, beside we met up Friday and did a portion of the show live, and then Saturday was Rock City Roller Derby's Pride Bout. We had
Yeah,
the first game again was against the Twin State Derby Vixens from Twin State, which is I believe New Hampshire and
yeah, sounds right.
in Vermont. I think those two states,
Yeah,
quote unquote, are the Twin States. Very nice for people. I got to catch up with my baby daddy. He was very
I would
happy
love
to.
that guy. What a cool dude.
Yeah, yeah. I was. Oh, I didn't see you, but I hope you were coming, and I told him I thought you were coming, so he might have caught you or not. I don't know, but he was. Yeah, they played really. It was a fun game, except it was blistering hot in the place. It was, and of course,
You
why
had to do your gimmick.
I had to do my gimmick. So I was like in the nice, like long sleeve shirt, vest, tie,
You're
slacks.
silly.
Yeah, yeah. It was, I was rather damp by the end of the second game, but it was an exciting game. They played Rock City. Rock City really has played so well at all their home games this year, and that was I thought fantastic. It was a lot of fun. They were very respectful of each other. I got to see a lot of people. I got to kind of lead into the drag show between games,
Sure.
which yeah, that was a lot of fun. I've never, I've been involved with doing some stuff with drag before, like hosting and things, but I didn't really get to host, but I helped them with the music, and it was a blast. It was the crowd reacted crazily cool to it, and it just was miserably hot. That was the bad thing about the whole day, is it just it didn't really get nice until about the second half of the second game when it was dark.
Yeah,
So,
the
but
sun was
it
dropping
was one of
down.
those things where it's like, I mean, we've complained about the Genesee sports complex out there, the other place, and this was very similar to that. It was
Yeah,
just
right.
yeah, it was just not fun. But it was great games. I had a good time. It was a blast. It was fun doing Derby. It was the last game of the season for the Rock Stars. Usually I go around when I find out it's the last game, I go around and see who's like maybe retiring, and I didn't get anybody retiring, so thought that was great. It's nice that we'll see them all next year. They played so good, I mean, and Twin State, I think was picked to beat them too as well. I believe, and they're better with like knowing those things than I am. So, like you score 2 points, they'll score five or whatever, that kind of thing. And that was so they
Right
were
or whatever.
yeah, so I saw Coach Barry. I hadn't seen him in forever, a couple of years at least. He was there. It was just, it was just a lot of fun, I mean, it was so much fun that the heat didn't bother me as much as the fun I was
Well,
having.
that's good.
Yeah, and I did it solo the whole night too. I didn't have
No
any
help, huh?
yeah, no help. So it made it tough when I was doing like the awards because I had to like drag them out and
Oh, sure.
yeah, so but it was blast, and they got another game on the 16th of August. The B-sides do. They'll be playing as well as the juniors. I guess there's two juniors games going on as well. Uh,
Nice.
yeah, so that was the Derby this week. A lot of constructing things, mechanical interactive flat panel screens all week and distributing them, and so it's been a week of heavy lifting and things like that, and uh
Gotcha.
yeah, but it's also been kind of miserably hot most of this week too.
Sure.
It was, so it's like I didn't want to do anything outside. I finally dragged myself out yesterday to cut my lawn because I needed to, but man, it still was very, very hot. But that's how it is. Heck, it's July, it'll be August in a couple days, but that's about my week. How about you?
Sure, man. I'm gonna go relatively quick. Nothing terribly exciting. We did family portraits on Saturday. We got some really amazing pictures. I'm very excited to share them with everybody. I feel continually lucky that my son is as beautiful as he is. We've got some great like solo pictures of him, and it's just unreal how good looking this kid is. Really unbelievable. So very exciting. We ran some errands after that on Saturday, and we did actually stop at the Dome. I had intended on doing merch, but I didn't realize that like Jackpot had already said that he would do it, and Dang was there, and then like Burger was there. I didn't see that, so I got lucky and didn't have to stick around. But by the time we got in there, it was so hot and so miserable, and there were so many people that it was just sort of overwhelming for me as well as the baby, I think. So we got out of there after like the first half, so really nobody kind of saw me. We hung out towards the back, and then really the second half of the first half we hung out in the lobby where it was a little bit cooler. It was just a tough day for heat in there. I was also, I'm not gonna lie here. I'm gonna say like their success is awesome, and they had so many people there, and like the amount of money that they made on tickets in one game is like the amount of money that Flower City makes in like a year. And what's frustrating is like, why couldn't we do that? You know? Why, right? So like I'm not gonna lie, I was bitter. And not like at Rock City. Like it's amazing. They've worked hard for that. They've been around twice as long as us. They have twice as many members, and so on. And they get, the community involved a little bit more with especially with like the Queer Alliance and whoever was specifically involved this past weekend. They get, a little bit more vendors. They get like, they had like ice cream or whatever else they had. So, I absolutely understand, but it does make me wonder why not us. And that's all right. We're gonna, meet here coming up, and it's things like that are going to be addressed. And hopefully we can move forward and figure out how we want to do that the best way, and how we're going to do it and which way, and how the team's going to look moving forward. So I'm excited for that meeting. I will say I'm also excited for tomorrow and Friday. Then Saturday is cool as well. We're going to Binghamton for Speedy Fest. This weekend is SummerSlam, 2 nights, which I'm excited
Yeah,
for. But I'm going to be behind on everything because Saturday I'm going out there for Speedy Fest. And
yeah.
what's funny is it's going to be highly unlikely that on night one of SummerSlam that our truth will be involved at all because he is going to be in Binghamton, New York, opening for Gym Class Heroes, if you can believe that.
Seriously.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be so silly. Yeah, he plays for like an hour and apparently he does some of his rap songs and then he tells some stories. So that's Saturday at Speedy Fest. I'm really excited.
Get to hear the What's Up song. I'm going to be the Killers on Saturday.
Where?
C-Mac and the Killers.
Oh, not Killers. I
Yeah.
was like, you're gonna have Killers. What's that? I'm a little bit jealous. I used to be a pretty big Killers fan, so
Yeah.
I get it. You know, that first album of theirs is amazing. So I hope you have a great time.
Yeah.
Other than that, Sunday, because everything is always so busy, mom is coming into town. So mom will be in town. And then we have summer affair, not this weekend, but next weekend. So mom will stay with the animals while we're gone, and then we'll spend more time when I get back. But I think we've done enough talking. Everything is cool. We've got a lot of great stuff going on. But I think we should go to Yeedy because we're a little bit late already. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk to Yeedy from Midway Magic, Casco Bay, Santa Cruz, and the Arizona Skate Club, and all this other stuff. You're listening to Derby Rocks on 106.3 WRFC. Welcome back to Derby Rocks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's great to be here. Lots of good Derby going on. Fresh from USAR's Nationals, right before the North American qualifier, we are joined by Yeedy from Casco Bay and Midway Magic and Arizona Skate Club and Santa Cruz and so many different things. So this is awesome. Thank you for coming on the show. Let's hop right into it and tell us all about your origin story and how you got involved in roller derby.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much for having me. Um, like you mentioned, I started with Santa Cruz. I started when I was about 10 years old with their junior program. I'm now 21, so about 11 years in Derby.
Nice.
I started as it just with their home teams there and skated with them for about, I think like probably like 3 years with their home teams, and then started on their all-star team in 2018, which one year that's the year that we won champs for the first time, and then skated with them until 2022 when I aged out. That was a great experience. Starting in juniors is like such a cool, just such an awesome experience, I would say. It teaches you so much and you meet such amazing people. Now moving across the country to Boston for school, I've started now with a bunch of different teams, just now this year with Casco, and then with Santa Cruz Legacy now that they've started that this year as well.
Very cool. Let's talk about your skating experience when you started. Did you have a lot? Or did you like learn to skate from the program that you joined? How did that go?
Yeah, so I started skating when I was really young, probably like 4 or 5, just, like pally skating around the rink and stuff. We had a lot of family friends that did derby, so I kind of like grew up with that. One of my like best friends from preschool, it wouldn't be like my story if I didn't mention her, but we started in juniors together, and all the way up till when we aged out. But her mom did it, and so we kind of grew up watching her mom and skating with that. So I've been skating basically since I was like 4.
Nice. How did you start taking to the skills and stuff? Did it come to you pretty naturally?
I would say no. I was one of those people that like did transitions only one way for like a year, and then my coach would be like, "All right, if you want to be on the Grom shells one day, you're gonna have to be able to turn both ways." So it didn't come naturally, but it had great coaches, so came eventually.
What other sports did you play growing up or now that you're
Um,
as an adult?
yeah, I started soccer when I was also about in like elementary school, probably pretty young. I think like kindergarten almost. So I've been playing soccer. I stopped playing soccer in like eighth grade, I think. I just now recently started playing again, but I also played softball in that time as well. So those three sports were like a good mix too of different agility and endurance, stuff like that.
I want to make a point. You are what whenever we talk to any of the skaters on the show, we always ask them what they say is the future of roller derby.
Mhm.
And that's you. you came up through the juniors, and I think a lot of older skaters who are like never had juniors. They just kind of started the group and wanted to do it, and it's like, but you are a perfect example of like what the future of this sport is, because this youth movement, you're coming into, playing in like WFTDA and MRDA and all these other organizations with full skills already and being very young at it as well. So do you ever get any grief from some of the older players because you are the future of roller derby?
100%. I mean, I won't like name names, but for sure, it definitely happens. I mean, that happens in everyday life too. Just being a younger person in any space, you sometimes get like the, weird comments
Those
and
good
stuff. But
knees.
yeah, exactly. But
I
yeah,
do
I
not
mean,
know that.
because I've been in it for so long, I know that I have skills and I know that I earned my place here, so I don't take it to heart that much.
When you were playing with the juniors, did you play open gender then as well, or was that something that you started once you became an adult?
We would only ever do like scrimmages just because Grom was a female team. So I majority did like competitions with the female division. But we would do like scrimmages with like DCM in the older days or the Pixies or Lockford even.
All right. And then you eventually aged out, I think you said in 2018, was it, or
2022 is when I aged out.
2022 you aged out? Okay. Um, what was like that first experience playing adult derby? Was there something that was a little bit like jarring, or were you just like ready to go because you had done it for so long?
I think there was like a little bit of mix of both. I mean, so when I moved to school, I didn't play derby really. I kind of stopped other than USARs, because that kind of was basically just once a year.
Right.
So I was doing like USARs nationals for 2022 and 2023, and then 2024 is when I started kind of doing more in derby. But yeah, so those first 2 years that I moved to Boston, I was like, all right, let me just start with school, settle in, and then get back to derby life. But yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a difference. I think because, like you said, like because I've been doing it for so long, I kind of had comfortability with it. And it wasn't that big of a shock, but there is like differences, of course. Like, the hits are harder. You're doing it with adults, so
Sure.
especially going into Murda too, it's like, okay, this is a man that's hitting me, but it's fun. I
Well,
like it.
yeah.
It's the point. The
And
point's
That's a good
classic
question.
sure.
sport.
Good question is why not Boston roller derby, or why not any of the other ones that are around? Why'd you go to Casco?
Yeah, I so when I moved here, like I said, I didn't skate for the first 2 years, and then by the point that I wanted to kind of get back into it, Legacy had started with Wiftada, with Santa Cruz, and I 100% was like on board with that. It's that team is for, our Santa Cruz aged up juniors. It's for like the Gromshells who have aged up, our coaches, and it's like that's just like my family that I've had for so long. So I absolutely want to be a part of that new like revolution with that. So. And then we have like a league policy of just one wolf at a team. So that's why not Boston. And then for Casco, I did one practice with them and just like instantly fell in love. Like everyone was super, super welcoming and just like it just felt home right away. Like I said with Santa Cruz for Groms, like that always felt like such a family vibe and like just very like close, and I could tell that that's how Casco is too. So it was like just great vibes all around. Everyone was super nice and super welcoming my first day. So I think right away I was like, oh yeah, this is it.
Sure. They are a lovable bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I do want to say Santa Cruz was in Rochester for the juniors playoffs we had a couple of years ago. They were one of the teams that came here and played in the dome. The last games actually that were played in our dome arena, quote unquote, and that was a blast. It was a lot of fun. Everyone was so friendly.
Yeah.
It was a great kid. I called every game of the tournament. So
Uh,
with friends, of
sounds
course.
right.
You
Sounds
know,
right.
but it's like, yeah, I remember the Groms. I remember it's like they were, yeah, they were a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for that, but they were a great team to come
Didn't they
from.
win?
100%.
Yeah. Did they win? I'm trying to remember. I know they moved on. I think it was Pittsburgh and the Derby
Yeah, that sounds
Brutes.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for open, I think we got third, maybe.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I'm trying to
Maybe
remember.
fourth. I can't remember honestly.
Did
That
you
was the
have any
open.
games?
Sorry,
Sorry, go.
no,
You
you're good.
go.
I was just asking if that was open. I think that was the open team because
Yeah.
that was the year that I think that was the first year that the Freaky Fridays, our open team, went to champs.
I
And
think
the court
you're
team.
right. Yeah. Did you have to change your style at all to play more MRDA or anything like that?
Um, I wouldn't say change my style, but I mean, derby and just sports in general, life in general, I feel like you're always improving, always like learning the new thing. So I think in that way, yes, like I think I just learned new ways of doing stuff that I was already doing, if that makes sense. But I don't think I changed how I was doing it. But just specifically like, when you're going against a large person that's like not really a kid in JRDA or whatever.
A lot of
Um,
people in the MRDA. What do you mean?
yeah. What do you mean? Like when you're going against great people from Chicago, you have
Sure.
to block a little bit differently.
Yes. Yeah,
So
agreed.
just like that, that kind of thing of like, getting lower, kind of taking out their legs instead of going for like a big shoulder hit, stuff like that. But that's just like normal blocking things, I feel like, just depending on their person's body type.
Awesome. And you're just back from USAR's Nationals. It looks like you played with or sounds like you played with a couple of teams. Tell us how you got involved in USAR's, and did you start? I think when you do USAR's, you can start a little bit younger too, can't you?
Yeah.
Did you start when you were 16 or 17, or tell us that kind of origin story and how you made the switch?
Yeah, I didn't actually. I didn't even know youth sports was a thing until the year that I was aging out. We had PMS or Miss Steger. She came and did a clinic with Santa Cruz and was like, "This is USARS, come play it." And so Santa Cruz, we made a USARS team in 2022. And we went to the Waco Nationals that year. And that was like all of our team's first time ever playing USARS. So it was a fun experience, but not like very competitive. But yeah, so that was like my kind of introduction with it. And I was encouraged to try out for Team USA that year as well. And I did, and I made it. So that was really fun. But now, since then, I've skated for during 2023 and 2024, and then 2025 as well. Skated with Arizona and then the Satellites for the past 2 years, not this year though. And yeah, it's been really fun. I feel like Arizona is like a great team. I got pulled in by Thrasher, my derby wife. But yeah, so it's been great. I think this year I actually didn't skate. I have like a torn AC joint in my shoulder
Oh
currently, so
no.
I wasn't able to skate, but I did go still. I was corner coaching for Arizona, and we had some history made. Our female team got gold for the first time. That was the first time our female team had ever medaled, and we got gold, so that was
Very
great.
cool.
And then our open team got third, so that was also really great. Came home with some
Yeah,
wins.
awesome. I know a lot of people who were at the event. It looked like a lot of fun. A little bit of controversy at the end. We won't get too much into it,
Sure.
but it's out there. Go have fun. Go look it up if you're in some of these groups out there. Uh, um,
We
do
talked
you
about it in the first segment, so we did talk about it.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
do you have a preferred rule set?
I get this asked a lot, and I have to say Wuftada Murda, it just is. It's like my home. It's like where I started. I do love USARs, but it's just a different game completely. I like the strategy behind Wuftada and Murda. I like the slow pace. I'm like one of those blockers that's gonna like hit you out and recycle you 100 times. Like that is my like MO. Like I love that. So to not be able to go backwards and to just be skating fun.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah,
It involves different strategies for sure, but I love a good recycle.
fair, fair. You've been doing this a while, 11 years. What skaters have you looked up to over the years? And is there anybody that you've like kind of modeled your gameplay after?
For sure. The first one that comes to mind for sure is Beans from Rose. She was one of our coaches with Santa Cruz. So I kind of grew up skating with her, and then when she moved to Portland, she started skating for Rose. But just her offense style, her attitude, how she, just kills it on the track every time. Beans is a big one for sure. More recently, I would say Thrasher, of course. I think a lot of us, or like a lot of people with USARs, especially like on the stream, even will be like, we don't know who that was. Was that Edie? Was that Thrasher? We don't know, but I'll take the compliment. It was most likely Thrasher, but I'll take it. But yeah, so she for sure, just like she's amazing. Love her so much. But um, yeah, just like the tenacity, her hustle, all the like push and drive. We're both very competitive people, so we're always racing to the elevator button to press it, like just little things like that. So
Funny.
yeah, I would say them two for sure.
Sure. Are you going to have any level of participation coming up for NAQ? You had mentioned your injury. Are you able to play?
So I actually got cleared for contact this week, yesterday. So exciting
Nice.
for that. It's in discussion right now. I'm still talking with like Smite and MBD and Hershey right now from Casco, just the training staff, and we're trying to figure
Sure.
out if I'm ready to play, if it makes sense for our team. So still in discussion, but maybe it'll be a surprise this weekend. We'll see.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Um, if you play, do you have any specific goals or is there something in mind that you're most looking forward to?
For sure. I think NAQ is going to be a really, really, really good tournament. There's some crazy matchups already in the first round. I'm super excited for that. I'm a big person that loves like footage review and notes and all that stuff, like just the pre-tournament prep. So I've taken many notes on Philly already, so they
Sure.
better watch out. But yeah, so I'm ready for that. I'm excited for that. I know Casco is really pumped and ready to knock some people out of that bracket, but we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely excited that it's hosted in Boston too.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to have a tournament pretty much at home, right?
Yeah, I get to stay in my own
Um,
house.
I
Just
love that.
yeah, it's
Nice,
so nice.
fresh, not a hotel bed or nothing.
Exactly.
Especially after you did RollerCon, you did like nationals, right? You've been just killing it, hitting the road lately. So it'll be good to be able to rest and be home.
Hmm.
Have you had any participation in like planning for the event, or how is that gone? Do you know of any like specific struggles, or how's everything looking? We're just a few days out at this point.
I mean, I think it's always a lot when you're hosting an event in general, but especially a nationwide one when there's teams coming all across the country and it's a regional tournament, or sorry, it's like a qualifier tournament, so it's like kind of higher level than just a
Yes.
regular, just like round robin or regular bracket tournament. So there's more stakes, I think. Luckily, personally, I've been not really in the involvement of the planning of it. All I've done is hang up posters around Boston, and I'll take that.
Yeah.
But sure, but I'm not doing anything crazy. That's all Moose and everybody else. But
Sure.
yeah, so I'm really excited that it's here and that they've done so much work for it. But yeah.
Nice. So you're in college. Tell us a little bit if you'd like, or if you feel comfortable, tell us a little bit about what you're going to college for.
Yeah, I'm currently going to Simmons University here in Boston. I'm studying exercise science, and then I have a minor in healthcare management and then public relations and marketing. I want to go with that to do either athletic training or physical therapy later down the road. Um, but yeah, so I think right as of right now, I'm just getting my bachelor's in exercise science and then see where it takes me.
Sure. So I know for like the USAR's nationals, I know that's very like pickup teams. I mean, even one of the names is satellites, you know what I mean? Not a lot of practice going on for these teams and things like that. I have a fair amount of friends on Midway Magic and some of the others. So, I know everybody's kind of, flying in, getting together. But you also mentioned like Santa Cruz Legacy, and now you're on the East Coast. How do you do all of this stuff and go to school and maintain attendance? Um, how do you do it all?
It's a lot for sure, I will say. But I think Derby like is such a humongous part of my life that it's like I can't just not do it. I think that's why, taking that first year, which turned into 2 years off, that was like a good transition period where I was like, okay, I'm settled into, moving across the country from my family, away from everybody that I know and all my connections there, and settling in here and, making a life for myself. And now, okay, I can return back to my normal life of Derby. But it definitely was really hard to not have that and to go from such like a close-knit family and group of Santa Cruz, and we saw each other 4 times a week, to not seeing them at all. That was definitely really hard. But I think going around and like starting to skate more and even just doing USAR's national once a year, like that was a great experience just to like, see some friends, still being able to skate. And every time I go home, I practice with Santa Cruz, but
That's very cool. I want, what's it like to see snow for the first time? No, I mean, that had to have happened. I mean, come obviously living over here on the East Coast,
No,
north.
100%. I
Yeah.
had all my friends here were making fun of me. I would like run out. I literally like would run outside every time it was snowing. I'm like, oh my God, it's so cool. This is snow. Like in like
Right.
shorts, I'd just be running outside and everyone's like, this happens every year. Like, why are you so excited? Like, like literally, why is like snow falling so happy to you? Like I was like ear to ear grinning, like, oh my God, it's snow.
So I noticed that you have a couple pride moments of proud or proudest moments where you captaining the 2018 RDJ junior RDA champions, being the captain. Obviously, that's pretty cool, and also going to Italy to play in the World Cup. We just had the Juniors World Cup too, not what 2 weeks ago I think, so or last weekend. So it was like, man, there's just so much going on. So it's like, but I mean, do you feel like that because these are your proudest moments, they're just building blocks and something, you got something bigger coming, maybe possibly this weekend?
I mean, there's always something new, always something more exciting that's coming, I think. But yeah, definitely like being able to, so I captained the 2019 team for JRDA. That was 2018 was my first year on the Grom Shells, but yeah, still being able to be in attendance for that win was like obviously historical and just like such, that is probably like the most memorable thing I've ever had happen in Derby. Just like everyone, like tears rolling down our faces, like just the most insane feeling. Like you just still like all of us tear up every time we think about it. But yeah, just like those are definitely building blocks of something more, but still will always be held near and dear to my heart for sure.
You are 21 and you got to go to Italy, so that's a big plus too, right?
Yeah, for sure. That was the first time I've been out of the country too, besides Canada, but out of North America.
Sure.
Sure. So we are just ahead of the North American qualifiers in Everett, Mass. The first through the third, we are joined by Yeedy from Casco Bay, as well as some other teams. You've won, JRDA champs. You've medaled at USAR's events, and had a pretty successful and competitive Derby career. What are the next things like on the list that you are hoping to check off?
I would love to get a Wilfred medal. Love to get a Wilfred gold, obviously, but I think Legacy's coming for it. I think y'all better watch out.
Sure, sure, fair, fair. All right.
Okay, I got one for you.
Yeah, go, brother.
Where's Yeety come from? Because Yeet is such a big thing right now. We got Jay Uso in the WWE, and he's Yeet, and they chant Yeet. Where'd you come up with Yeety?
I've had many derby names, which I won't get into. They're very embarrassing from my childhood. But they because they rotated so much, everyone just called me Edie, and I was like, well, this is so boring. Like the point of derby is to have a fun name, and then people started turning it into Yeety because that was like a joke or like a nickname in my juniors was I would just get called Yeety. So I think in my like second to last year or last year of juniors, I changed it to Yeety, and now it's stuck.
All right.
And we're like in part because you like yeet people out of bounds and stuff, right?
That was
The
the name
joke.
or yes.
Okay.
Like a
Fair.
verb. It's a verb and it's a name, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah, a verb and a noun, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Is there something, I've got two more things for you and then I'll let you go. Is there, outside of potentially playing, is there something that you're like most looking forward to about this weekend in the North American qualifier?
I mean, like I said, there's some crazy matchups. I'm really excited to see the Valhalla Aftershocks game. I'm
Yeah,
excited to
that's gonna be a
see
great one.
I'm there I'm just like
Yeah,
genuinely like it
just gonna
makes
be
me
a
like
great
so
game.
happy just to like be able to experience such good derby and see great people and I'm super excited to just like see everybody again. I feel like RollerCon was a little bit short of people, so I'm excited to re-see those people and also see some new faces. So yeah, just experience that, experience my first Murda like final of 2025. So
Sure, back on. Awesome. Well, thanks again. I appreciate you. It's been great getting to learn about you. Best of luck this weekend. I have a huge soft spot for Casco. Tugboat is one of my favorite people of all time.
Love
A lot of those folks are just very important to me. So I am certainly pulling for you. But before I let you go, like we do everybody else, I'm going to ask what you think the future of roller derby looks like.
Gotta say it again. The juniors, 100%.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
always. It's just the youth of the people, you know? Like if the juniors weren't here, there would be nothing funneling in, and I think Santa Cruz does an amazing job of starting them really young and just filtering them through our program.
Sure.
But yeah, not even just with Santa Cruz. I think the whole of JRDA is an amazing opportunity for people to have such a space where they can feel comfortable in their own bodies and be empowered to play a sport that welcomes everybody. I think it's a great opportunity.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I hope you
Thank
have a great night. Good luck this
thank
weekend.
Yep. Have
you.
fun.
Cool.
Welcome back to Derby Rocks. It's time for the news, because we've got just enough time to get some news in before we get out of
Nice.
here. I'm going to go through last week's WFTDA bouts. We had closest bouts, 5-point win by the Valkyries, the BMRD Valkyries. They beat Harrisburg Area Roller Derby Fallouts 169 to 164. Yeek. We have Ottawa Valley beating Quebec 106 to 95. We have Lilac City 173 over Terminal City. How come Rochester didn't get Lilac City? Wouldn't that have been a perfect name for a team, I guess? I don't know.
Not wrong.
173 to 155, 18-point win. Then we have Rock City 172 over Twin State 114, 58-point win. Mass Attack losing to the Hellions 186 to 125, and the B Devils from Penn Jersey Roller Derby losing to Connecticut's brutal Yankee Brutals 167 to 95, 72-point score. That's about all the scores I've got. I don't really have a lot of games. There's not a lot of games because we have. I think, people are, there's been so many tournaments and everything that now, it's people aren't having a lot of games, after a weekend, after a huge tournament. So we do, but you do
Sure.
have the lineup there for the NAQs, right?
Yeah, we've got the North American qualifiers hosted by Casco Bay Roller Derby taking place in Everett, Mass. That's August 1st through the 3rd. We're going to start game one Friday at 5 p.m. We've got Puget Sound taking on Toronto Men's Roller Derby. I believe Puget Sound is the favorite in that game. After that, at 7 p.m., we have the host Casco Bay taking on the Hooligans from Philadelphia, Penn Jersey at 7 p.m. I believe Casco's favored there. Game three, starting early, Saturday, 9 a.m., is Pittsburgh Roller Derby taking on Austin Anarchy. If I'm not mistaken, the last time those two went at it, Pittsburgh won. I do believe they're favored as well. And then we have Y'all Dallas Derby Devils taking game four against the San Diego Aftershocks. If you were just listening, you heard Yeedy from Casco Bay mention they were looking forward to that game. And I think it's going to be a great game as well. So it's exciting to see how things are going to shake out. From there, you get, the winner games and then the loser games. You can lose and still win overall, which is pretty wild. But yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. These games are going to be awesome.
And they do have a JRDA game also to
Yes, they are
break
doing
up
a Junior Roller Derby Association exhibition.
between the two qualifying finals. So they got two teams are going to come out of this and go to champs in Portland. So we just root for everybody. I mean, they're all our friends. I'm super excited for
Yeah,
all
it's
of
going
them.
to be a tough one. I have love for all of these teams. We've got Rad playing for Pittsburgh now. We've got some great friends like Yeedy and Tugboat and Truck and some other amazing people that we've had on who we're good friends with for Casco.
And then
Uh,
Yohala, what a story they are. I mean, was their first.
one of the newest teams,
Yeah.
and they have gone far, but they also have a lot of WFTDA representation and folks like Quadzilla and other folks from like
Ellie.
Houston, the team that like didn't work out in Houston, as well as people who might have been traveling to Austin who now don't have to travel quite as far. So yeah, I mean, just the storylines are there. We love Austin. I've coached for Austin at some big events before. So I mean, Toronto, we have a great thing with Toronto. We've played them 2 years in a row, sanctioned games. Then we've played them, more years non-sanctioned. So the after or not the aftershocks, but Puget Sound,
Yeah.
our buddy Carnage, who used to play with the Quad Fathers, is on them now. So we've just got a lot of love for these teams, and it's really hard to pick a winner. But I'm excited for it. It's going to be some great derby. I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, super excited. We know somebody on every team, at least one person, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think Guillotine Grace is on the Dallas Derby Devils, even
Yeah.
somebody that we've literally had somebody, even within like the last year, probably
We had
pretty much.
We had Tally and Lady Tally who were on. Both of them play for Yalhalla. So yeah.
Exactly. So we've had pretty much all of the teams represented pretty well. So it's going to be a great weekend. I'm excited to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah.
But I think we are just about out of time there, Cash.
I think we are. It's time for another
Awesome.
wrap up the week and get the heck out of here, as they say.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. It was a great show. Thank you to Yeedy for taking time out of their busy schedule. She literally went from like RollerCon to Nationals, now home to the North American qualifiers. Busy, busy life. So thank you for coming to hang out with us, and thank you for playing along. We appreciate you guys. You're listening to Derby Rocks. We'll see you next week.